Well, it's my pleasure to bring up that wonderful couple. We like to call them the honeymooners. They just got back from an amazing trip to Australia. And of course, I'm talking about our beloved friends, Connie and Andrew. And they have been on a journey. They have been traveling in search of our future. Um, so tell us a little bit about In Search of Our Future, that adventure that you're on, and then when you're ready, let me know and I'll play you video.
Okay, well, I just want to say we're thrilled to be here with this Earthstock family. It just seems that Spirit has ramped up this coming together of people who have such long, deep connectivity of trust and heart over decades. It's astounding. And all the people that Michael has known and we have known, it's like, oh my God. It's phenomenal. And it happened in Australia as well. It was like, wow, just this uplink because we've got a job to do and the deep levels of trust and connectivity are facilitating that movement forward. So we're just thrilled to be offering at Earthstock our trust frequency work, and it has to do with realizing prophecy and realizing prophecy through accessing the trust frequency. It's a workshop we're doing, and we're doing it with Maureen Edwardson. We often work with Maureen because she clears the pathways for accessing our true nature, our hearts, and our 10 assumptions for a new paradigm so that one can really take on these assumptions if one resonates. And these assumptions take us into an understanding of the nature of the universe that goes beyond right, wrong, good, evil, victim, perpetrator. It takes us into that frequency where we understand that it's only love, and it's a conscious loving universe for shifting frequencies. Because from our understanding, we're not going to get to this new earth in this lower vibration when we're still stuck in victim, perpetrator, right, wrong, good, evil. So it's a huge leap. And our dear friend Maureen helps people to clear out those old assumptions, those unexamined, erroneous assumptions about the nature of the universe. And because we've been attached to those, we think that's how the universe works because we were told that as children, and the whole culture revolves around it. And we've got to let that go because we're being called into a higher frequency now. And to get there, to go with the earth as she rises in frequency, we've got to shed that. And Maureen's work with IRT facilitates that. So that's one of our offerings. And our other offering that we're bringing to the Earthstock is our film. And Andrew will tell you a bit about that.
So yeah, that's something I think that has not been mentioned this evening, Michael. The film festival aspect of Earthstock, there is a film series that will be screening at the local college, I believe. And we have just returned, as you know, from Australia with some brand new material. We go in search of the future, Scott, and it may sound strange, but in our search for the future, where do we go? We go to the most ancient origins of our species. So the first film, as you will see in the little 2-minute trailer that Scott will play in a couple of minutes here, you will see some very beautiful buns. And I'm not kidding, because these are basically little amazing human beings with the most beautiful rear ends dancing around a fire. And I'm just being funny there, but it's beautiful. I'm so proud of having got that footage 20 years ago, friends, with the Bushmen of the Kalahari. You know them from The Gods Must Be Crazy. They carry the world's oldest DNA. They carry some of the world's most beautiful, amazing, relevant wisdom to our current situation. And to fast forward to 2024, we've just returned from Australia, where we went in search of the same ancient elders, this time the Aboriginals, so-called, or the ancient custodians of the sacred country in Australia. And the beauty that we returned with is absolutely gorgeous. So we'll be screening something at Earthstock. I'm not sure where we'll get with that. We will certainly have at least a 20-minute high-quality presentation to make there. Plus, in Australia, we took the original film, In Search of the Future 1, and upscaled it. I had a feeling, so I took with me the master files and we upscaled it to high definition. It was shot in the old standard definition format. It is now reborn, remastered, and we will be showing that for the first time at Earthstock. So that's a bit of a report there.
And we were with Maureen in Australia.
She is in the film,
Yeah, she's in
as
the
is
film.
Scott, and as is
Mhm.
as are all of you eventually one of these days, one of these ways, as we travel and get these interviews captured.
And Maureen was so responsible for so much of the interconnectivity in Australia. And she had never been there, but she had a following in Australia for her IRT.
Yeah,
And so the magic just wove this incredible 3 months there.
yeah.
And we were just so cared for by everyone who drove us, who housed us, the Aboriginal elders who invited us to the corroboree, and all that good stuff. And the Mungo Man, the celebration of the 50 years of the founding of Mungo Man, 42,000, what did I say?
Founding.
Founding.
He was founded. He
The
was
discovery by Jim Bowler, the father of Ben Bowler of Unity Earth.
Think
So
about
I mean,
that, a
just pure magic.
42,000-year-old perfectly preserved skeleton of in a ritual, highly sophisticated, highly civilized burial 42,000 years ago. I mean, it's just extraordinary what we are discovering here and what we have been able to bring to the story that is this thing that we call In Search of the Future. And I'll just mention there's another thing happening also called, but it's called Summit for the Future, and it's at
The
the
UN.
United Nations, September 19th, and it looks like we're getting involved with that as well. So that's really interesting. The future is becoming, the future is now. The future, if we don't get to the future right now, who knows what if we let the future just happen by default, we don't know. So there's wisdom emerging, and we're so just joyful. And I just want to say, Maureen, you're looking so great, so beautiful. It's so good to see you with everything you've been through. You look totally reborn.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so wonderful. And as far as we're concerned, the only way out is up to a higher frequency. So everyone do your work, shed those old patterns and old thinkings and those wounds. Go and do the process of coming to loving yourself, all of yourself that you brought to the party. You promised to bring a party, and it's you, and it's all of you, and it's just so important to do that shadow work, to get up individually, get up into that higher frequency, to know that it's all love. Nothing has ever happened to us, it's happened for us. So let's have a look at it's a 2-minute teaser of our first film, In Search of the Future, What Do the Wise Ones Know? So
2004, we started shooting this. It premiered at the Harmony Festival in Santa Rosa, California in 2007. So Scott, are you ready with that?
I sure am. And
Deborah Gusti, I'll tell you, Deborah Gusti,
Deborah was
those folks gave us $10,000 to bring our
bring the
elders to the
Mhm.
Harmony Festival.
Yeah.
So see this interconnectedness? It's
Yeah.
just so heartwarming. It's just like, oh my God. And Michael DiMartino's relationship with Wallace Black Elk, who was a great friend of mine for many decades, and and now Wallace's daughter Jennifer.
it's all beautifully
Carrie, and they're coming.
connected.
It's like amazing.
All right, here we go.
don't get a future automatically because most species are extinct. And our species certainly seems to be approaching extinction.
Many people have been concentrating on the Mayan calendar, which we all know ends December the 21st, 2012.
The Mayan calendar predicts that in the year 2012, there will be the end of life on this earth as we know it now.
The elders I've worked with in Guatemala, they say we came from the stars, which would make us all extraterrestrial.
So you're saying that we are not monkeys, they're not going to become monkeys, or we are not coming from the monkeys?
Everything out there is spiritual. This is a spiritual world, a divine world.
All things, seen and unseen things, originate from this great power.
We can't live really spiritually healthy or physically healthy or mentally healthy without love.
What could a new consciousness bring to life on this planet?
Wake up and be aware. Do something. Change your way of life.
If we believe in scarcity, if we believe in separation, we will create poverty, we will create war.
The kind of shift I'm talking about in growing up is literally, strictly a change of how we think.
Where we are going is a great awakening of the magic in the human heart.
Beautiful great awakening is happening, that's for sure. Maureen, we've had you on the camera because you work with these two beautiful people. Is there anything you'd like to share about your wonderful work with them, or the film we just watched, or the film that they're always working on and making?
Well, I'd like to say how incredible they are, and their gifts and their talents and their experience is so wide-ranging across the whole spectrum. And you know, Connie, I would invite you to put in your links into who you are and what you do, because it's most astounding. And I, even knowing how amazing you are for quite a while, when I actually went to that link and read the depth of and the breadth of who you are, it's just so incredibly impressive. And I'm just so grateful and proud to be your close friends and your collaborator. We have so much fun together. So yes, it's going to be really an amazing time at Earthstock for those, especially ones that can be physically present. There's a limited number, so please, you know, register soon to keep your place. And otherwise, yeah, that we're always having fun together. But yes, and in Search of the Future too, The Only Way Up Out is Up has so many luminaries. And I mean, the hours, the man hours, the camera hours that you both have put into over the last, what, year even, just, I think it's just a year. It's astounding. How many people actually have you interviewed overall? Have you got a count?
150, probably.
I think between 120 and 150.
That's incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah, they are.
It's beautiful, beautiful footage. And I want to
they're multi-gifted. They're multi-gifted. And so, you know, I put a link into the trustfrequency.net where you'll see also their relationship. And I know, Scott, you know, with your focus on relationships on this this show and in your life and in your work, you know, they do have a Dance of Souls course, which is amazing. And it's self-regulated. You go through on your own pace. So check it out, everybody. There's so much available. And, you know, we might hear and then forget, but I'm just here to remind you to tap into the brilliant essence of all the offerings that Connie and Andrew have gifted us with.
Absolutely. I'm a particularly big fan of the trust frequency. And when they explained their 10 assumptions and how when we change those assumptions, it changes our reality. It's so beautiful. And they are multi-talented. There's a lot that they do. So the best way, I think, to kind of tap in is to go to their Linktree site. Linktree is a wonderful way to for people like Connie and Andrew, who do a lot of different things because they are authors, filmmakers, photographers, futurists, climate solutionaries, and also friends of all global peace drivers. And so if you go to their Linktree, that's where you can get all the good things. So just go to Linktree, Connie and Andrew, and everything there, sacred activism, all the different In Search of the Future teasers, videos, testimonials. There's a lot going on there. So that's a good place to go for all things Connie and Andrew.
Yeah, incredible depth and gift. Thank you.
And they're only each 21 years old. It's incredible, I tell you. They're just kids, right?